Huh? Oh boy. There, so the machine's walking forward by itself, and if I'm trying to make this go forward, I push this forward, which pulls, which pushes this rod in. So if I want it to stop walking forward, I need to make this rod shorter. Right? Right.
I say, girl, don't you wondering if I wanted to, I wanted to.
Come on. Diesel, boys and girls, diesel. Hear that squeak? That's what we're gonna fix. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the Bobcat S205, the Ferrari of skid steer loaders. But she runs like a tank. She'll push a house over if you're not careful. Just get some light in there, that will make my life a bit easier. So the reason we're doing this is what was I doing? Oh yes, I was tracing a parasitic electrical draw. I had a look at the belt while I was back here, and I noticed there was some cracking and squeaking a lot lately. So ordered a belt, and we're gonna swap it out because the tension's really low. So after 5 minutes of fighting, it seems I've loosened up the bolts on the alternator. Belt is gonna come off now, hopefully. Alright, I'm gonna fight with this with 2 hands. So I tried to use a wrench as a tire iron to knock it off the pulley. That didn't work. And I tried to jam a wrench underneath it and try to roll it off trick. That didn't work. So that was a complete pain. I think we're doing this because this belt's in very bad shape. New one's the same size, which means it's going to be a pain in the ass to get on. So it was a fight, but I got the belt on. I ended up having to do the old get over the 2 pulleys and spin it over the crankshaft pulley thing while pulling sideways on it, because I don't know what's going on with the Kubota factory, but they, in general, my other experience with other Kubota engines, make the belts shorter than the belts are just too small. They're like always like half an inch too small. I don't know.
And perhaps the most challenging aspect of hitting a softball is the distance a softball pitch is thrown from. A major league mound is 60 feet 6 inches away from home plate. A female fast pitch mound is 43 feet away from home plate. So even though Jenny Finch is throwing nearly 25 miles per hour slower than the average MLB fastball, it gets to the plate as fast as a ball thrown between 98 and 101 miles per hour from a major league mound.
What you're looking at here is a Kubota F3060. You can take off the deck, cutting deck, and put on a snowplow. I remember at a very young age doing snow in a parking lot with this very machine. I must have been 8 years old. Today we're going to do full service, oil change, filters, and fix a leak in the rear differential. That I have to take the rear axle off, disconnect the drive shaft. While I'm in there, I'll take a look at the differential gears. So the removal procedure for this axle isn't too bad. It's 4 bolts. You can see the oil residue here on the 4-wheel drive shaft. So there's 4 bolts on this housing, which is the pivot point for the rear axle. Give it the suspension. So we'll remove that, remove the one on the other side, drop the differential away, and then we should be able to pull the shaft out. Then we can remove these parts, clean them, and put new seals here and the internal O-rings here on both sides. No, I'm draining the oil from the differential, and that color is not fantastic. It should be not clear, but it shouldn't be brown and black, so good thing we're servicing this anyway. So the next step is to get the four-wheel drive shaft out, which is this guy. And to do that, I have to move the rear axle that way. Now, push the axle back. I'm actually just going to use the steering. Turn the steering wheel. And that extends this piston, which will push the axle back. Turn the wheels, but if I turn the wheels straight now that I've extended it backwards, the axle will be farther off and the shaft should drop. But this is actually the culprit for the leak. It's this spring-loaded double seal. It's got some crud in it too, so that's probably not helping. So I put the new parts on, and now I need to line up the axle shaft, and then I can drop the tractor onto the mounts. I'm kidding. guys.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yo.
So we're on top of 3rd floor. There's the boardwalks that I just ran across. Keep going. Super janky mountain biking feature. Not sure anyone's hit that for 20 years. Back up. Get that vert. I named this one In the Rough. Just above a golf course. Lots of roots, very technical, and very long. This area is where some of the bigger key shots from my Don Valley trail running video. This ridge line here goes all the way up to the top. It's about 40 meters. It's about 45 degrees, as you can see there. I called that one Midsummer Night's Dream. And last year I came here and it was a summer night. And I thought about running up that, but I didn't have the energy to do it that day. One day I sprinted up it, and that's where the name came from. It's really cool because a lot of the trails in this area, unlike the Dawn down, you know, around Eglinton and where all the mountain bike trails are, all the trails in there all have names just because it's so heavily traveled. But here, not a lot of people have named the routes. So I've had the, you know, I've been lucky enough to explore the area myself and find new routes and small little interesting trails, and then I get to name them on Strava. So that's pretty cool. One I did not name. This one's called Slippery When Wet. This is actually a drainage, a stormwater drainage. It's a catch basin, but for the most part, we haven't had rain in a long time, but usually this area is very wet and very slippery. You know, it's an adventure when I dig into the organic fruit bunnies.